3 months ago, I made a video about taking a step back from AI consulting to focus more on YouTube. My thinking was, since most of my opportunities come through YouTube, doubling my video output would double my business. However, after 3 months of posting YouTube videos every week, it's safe to say that I was wrong. In this video, I'm going to share what happened last quarter along with my key learnings in case it is helpful to anyone on a similar journey. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Shah. I make videos about data science and entrepreneurship. And if you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing. That's a great no-cost way you can support me and all the videos that I make. In 2020, I started posting YouTube videos while getting my physics PhD. As a grad student, I was navigating an ocean of technical topics. My videos were a way for me to learn by making content that would have been helpful to a past version of myself. Although the basic premise of the channel is the same, since then, something unexpected happened. The channel got some traction and started to open up opportunities outside a regular 9-to-5 job. This is mostly around teaching people AI and helping businesses with projects. While I post content on many platforms such as Medium, LinkedIn, and X, the vast majority of the opportunities I receive come through YouTube. This brings me to 3 months ago when I faced a dilemma. There was a tension between making videos and my consulting business. More specifically, for me, making videos requires long stretches of uninterrupted attention, where even one 15-minute call can kill an entire afternoon of productivity. Consulting, on the other hand, is fundamentally different. It consists of taking calls, sending emails, drafting proposals and contracts. In other words, the sort of thing that kills my creative flow. Balancing these opposite types of work was a struggle, which eventually led me to the conclusion that I needed to pick one. I ultimately went with YouTube because in the long run, a successful YouTube channel gives me a lot more options than a successful consultancy. So I increased my consulting rates and stopped taking project-based work so I could focus on posting one YouTube video every single week. Since YouTube is the main way people find me, my hypothesis was if I doubled my video output, I would double my opportunities and thus my business. This can be quantified through metrics such as the number of paid calls booked, the number of inquiries I received, the number of new subscribers, and monthly YouTube revenue. However, after 3 months of posting every week on YouTube, the results were not what I expected. Comparing Q1 to Q2, my number of paid calls went down from 10 to 8, and inquiries dropped from 35 down to 29. On the YouTube side, while the number of subscribers and revenue slightly went up, my month-over-month metrics are trending downward since April. At this point, you might be thinking, what happened? Of course, 3 months is a short period of time, so the conclusions we can draw from this data are limited. However, there are still 3 important lessons I got from this. The first is that it's not all about quantity. The thing about YouTube is that one video can make up the bulk of a channel's views. For example, my fine-tuning video makes up for about 22% of my total views. This uneven distribution of engagement supports focusing on making high-quality content. However, quality is a loaded word here. It can mean different things from person to person. This is where the art of content creation comes in. The way I see it, creators develop an intuition for what quality means through trial and error. And both trial and error are important here because that's the only way that we learn. Which is why the recent drop in my channel metrics is ultimately a good thing because it solidified the following 2 points. The first is people want LLM content. I didn't post any LLM videos in Q2, and these videos get more than 10 times as many views as my typical videos. The second point is the power of doing series. In other words, one-off videos tend to do worse than a series of related videos posted one after another. This makes sense because when you watch a video from a particular channel, YouTube will start recommending other videos from that channel. And if you liked one video in a series, odds are you'll like another. Another key learning is that maximizing content means nothing without a business strategy. In other words, if I'm trying to grow my business by growing my channel, it's important that the content I put out supports my business goals. I didn't spend enough time thinking this through, and the bulk of my videos from last quarter were from my full stack data science series, where I showed how to implement a data science project from end to end. While I learned a lot from this series, and it seemed to help many trying to learn these skills, ultimately these videos aren't something that a potential client would watch, which naturally led to fewer paid calls and inquiries. And the final learning from last quarter was I got out of touch. I was spending too much time making content and not enough time talking to customers and other practitioners. Consequently, I became disconnected from the industry and my audience. Another downside of strictly maximizing content output is that I had less time to reflect and dwell on video ideas, which to me seems to have diminished video quality. Reflecting on this experience, I feel doubling down on YouTube was an overcorrection. However, I still believe a correction was needed. My path was heading more and more toward growing a consultancy. Although this is a great business and a great way that technical folks can make money, growing a firm like that doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun to me. What I love is pursuing my curiosity, which is why I love learning, doing research, building projects, and talking about these things. But of course, in the real world, we have constraints such as rent and food and bills. In other words, at some point, you've got to make some money. While doing what you love and making money are sometimes at odds, I don't think this is a necessary condition. The way I see it, entrepreneurship provides anyone the opportunity to create their dream job and ultimately their dream life. All that to say, I feel by narrowly focusing on this one video a week goal, I lost track of this bigger picture. I forgot the goal of all this was to make a living doing the things that I love. Which brings me to my 3 goals for this quarter. First is lowering my content goal from 1 video a week to 3 videos a month. I feel this will be a good balance of quantity while giving me time to ensure quality and work on other projects. The second goal is to validate 1 new revenue source. While making content and doing small consulting engagements generates some revenue, it's hard to imagine how this can scale. That's why I'll be dedicating more time to exploring other revenue sources. My current ideas include a referral business where I connect companies to a hand-picked list of AI dev shops, doing AI trainings for companies, and hosting a cohort-based AI course for professionals. If you have any feedback on these or other suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. And the third and final goal is to help 30 companies use AI. This can be through paid calls, referrals, or small consulting engagements. The main motivation of this goal is to stay more connected with industry use cases of AI. My central strategy for hitting this goal is by lowering my consulting rate. This is actually something I implemented 2 weeks ago, and I've already seen an increase in bookings. So that brings us to the end. Although entrepreneurship is a messy process, I hope my failures and mistakes are somewhat helpful to those on a similar journey. And to everyone that shared feedback and support on my last video, I just wanted to say thank you. The diversity of perspectives and input that I've received has been very helpful in many different ways. And as always, thank you so much for your time and thanks for watching.